About this, I got these yesterday, as you can probably see. They are the Poison Spyder Bombshell differential covers. I did get the black powder coated ones because it saves me a little bit of headache trying to get them ready. Of course, this one's still shut, so right away, of course, you notice how heavy they are. They're really, really stout just by the box. So you got your black RTV, your lock washers, and your replacement bolts, and your new drain plug for the no, excuse me, not drain plug, but new fill plug for the actual diff cover. Of course, you got your Poison Spyder stickers. Yeah, like I said, right away, it's very noticeable how stout this thing is. So, I recently re-geared the front and rear with 513 gears. And so, in doing so, of course, you want to protect your gears. So yeah, I think it goes this way. The Spyder pointing down. Of course, you got your Spyder here, and your little violin-looking thing for your Black Widow, and where your fill plug goes. Supposedly, your fill plug is in the same place as your factory location. But I bought two, of course, one for the front and one for the rear. Supposedly they're not any different because they are going to match up with either the front or the rear. So today I'm going to be attempting to actually just paint the Spyder itself. I always told myself I was not going to be that guy, but I think I'm going to paint the Spyder green and leave the rest of the diff cover black. So we'll see how that turns out. So I did find this spray paint at Walmart called Key Lime, and it matches almost perfectly to the Hyper Green Jeep. So that's what I use to paint my diff covers. So here's just a picture of my rear differential about a week prior. I noticed that got a slow leak. It was just slowly creeping up the back of the differential cover. So it wasn't horrible, but I don't know how long it's been leaking. So I took it up to the dealership and just said, hey, can you check my rear differential? It's got a slow leak in it. Can you guys reseal it? And he comes back later and says, well, unfortunately, we can't cover that under warranty because you got some scratches underneath your differential. So pretty much implying that he knows that I wheel the Jeep, and simply because I wheel the Jeep, that indicates that I could have done something to cause the differential cover to leak, and so it's not covered. So I was like, you know, that's fine. I'm not going to pay that. Can you just top it off so that I have enough fluid in there until I actually get my regear done next week? And he was understanding of the situation, and he did top it off for me. But after I left, I was kind of irked about it. It's like, you know, this is how this dealership is going to do business with people that wheel their vehicles. It's kind of a reality that sometimes you're going to have to deal with your stuff yourself. You're not going to be able to get any warranty work done simply because you wheel your stuff. I don't think that's quite right. Alright, well, they're not finished by any means, but at least they've got a couple coats of each, red and green. So here's some pictures of the diff covers on the Jeep, and it looked good at first, but then I noticed that something wasn't quite right, and then I figured it out. Alright, as you can tell, these are the original bolts Nothing?
What'd you do?
Where you been all night?
I just got off work at 7.
Why?
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Did you just get that done today?
Yesterday, and of course I gotta take it back because they reused the old bolts. And they're supposed to use the hardware that came in the box with the diff covers. These are like cast iron. These are like 3 times as heavy. So this is the next day. This is Saturday, which was today, the 24th of March, and I'm running out there this morning to get this issue resolved. I had called last night after I looked at the differential covers on the Jeep and realized that they didn't put the correct bolts in there, and had talked to the shop owner and let him know that I wasn't happy with the fact that they just reused the stock bolts in my thicker aftermarket diff covers. My concern is that the stock bolts weren't long enough to adequately cinch that cover down to the differential. And you know, when I told the shop owner this, he was just completely surprised that his guys would do something like this. You know, he's more than willing to make it right. He can either set up a time for me to come in and have them put the correct bolts in there, or he can provide them to me and I can do them myself. I was like, well, I'll see you in the morning. So that's what I did. It was drove back out there again and had them zip the old bolts out and zip the new bolts in, which literally took 20 minutes. But it's just the whole fact of having to drive all the way back out there for them to do something they should have done right the first time. You know, he was apologetic, and being a shop owner, a store owner, business owner, he did the right thing, and you know, stood behind his work and provided the service that he needed to maintain his customer. So you know, I appreciate that. It just was annoying that I actually had to ask for that to be done. It wasn't done the first time, you know. Granted, it would save me some time if I would have noticed before I'd left the other day, but at least it's done right now, and it looks good, and I have the peace of mind knowing that it's got the correct hardware in there, which is what's supposed to be in there for these diff covers.